Maraming salamat po, Mr. President. Mr. President, I can see the major programs and projects of DSWD as outlined in their PAPs. The Senate version, Mr. Speaker, allocated 212.5 billion pesos for all these 12 interventions. Nauuna na po rito yung 4Ps, which is at least more than one half of the entire total of 212.5 billion. Meron silang social pension, which is 58 billion, protective services, 27 billion, supplementary feeding, 6.6, sustainable livelihood program, 6.1, and so on and so forth. Mr. President, ang total nga po is 212.5 billion pesos. The sad thing here, Mr. President, as may be shown by the questions propounded by the earlier speakers, meron pong mga skepticism, merong pagdududa kung talagang etong maraming interventions na ito ay talagang nakatutugon dun sa mga tinatarget na mga focus areas or persons. Wala nga po tayong datos, even monitoring per admission, as I heard this afternoon, kung talagang nagkakatapat-tapat talaga yung nag-o-overlap, lalong-lalo na sa pagbibigay. Talaga po bang naibibigay lahat to sa target groups? Nakita ko po kanina sa pagtatanong, talaga namang totohanan pagka medyo may politika, talagang mas marami yung AICs at saka iba pang mga interventions. As a matter of fact, Mr. President, itong 12 interventions na to ay meron pang iba na hindi siguro nalista rito katulad nung Lawa Binhi na kanilang tinutupad at itinataguyod. Without belittling the activities, Mr. President, or the efforts expended by the DSWD, sapagkat kilalang-kilala ko po yung secretary, isa po yan sa aking pinakamatalik na kaibigan nung ako po ay nasa House of Representatives. At hanggang ngayon po, kagaya rin ni Boyeng Remulla, kaibigan ko rin po yan. Kaya lang as maputi lamang po si Secretary Gatchalian. Mr. President, ganito ko po sinimula ng aking premise dahil sa ako po ay may pagdududa rin kung talagang napupunta sa lahat ng mga targeted individuals or groups itong napakarami pong interventions na kung talagang natugunan lahat, hindi po sana magkakaroon ng mga surveys na kagaya po ng babanggitin ko sa inyo. Halimbawa, Mr. President, noong 2022, ang sabi po sa mga surveys, yung pong nagsabing sila po ay kasama sa mga mahihirap na pamilya ay 48%. Sa mga tweet, halos kalahati po ng pamilyang Pilipino ang nagsabi, kami po ay mahirap. 2023, Mr. President, ganun din po 48% ang nasasabi sa survey. Noong 2024, last year, Mr. President, 57% pa nga po. At ngayon po, September 2025, hindi pa po natatapos ang taon, nasa 50% na po nagsasabi na kami po ay mahirap. Katumbas po halos, Mr. President, ng 14.2 million families. If we assume, Mr. President, that each family is comprised of about 5 members, this is easily between 25 to 30 million poor Filipinos telling themselves that up to now we're still poor. So, sabi ko nga po, hindi ko po kinu-question ang validity po ng lahat ng mga interventions na ito at lalong hindi ko po kinu-question ang nobility and even the efforts na ginagawa po ng Department of Social Welfare. Pero kung totoo pong ganun nga ang ating pinagsisikapang puntahan, napakarami po nito. Halos ito po ay 12 pantulong socio-economic programs. Bakit ganito po ang hinaing ng ating mga kababayan hanggang ngayon? Halos kalahati ng pamilyang Pilipino ay hirap pa rin. So ibig sabihin po, Mr. President, talaga pong dapat merong siya sa atin. Dapat siguro ay i-review nating mabuti kung saan sumasablay, kung nasaan ang problema, Mr. President. Tama po ba yung assumption ng representasyong ito, Mr. President?
So His Honor's question is, why does the Secretary believe that marami pa ring mahirap kahit na marami tayong programa? Yun ho ba ang tanong?
It was not the Secretary's assessment, Mr. President. The SWS surveys and the other surveys are the ones assessing the economic plight of our people
Yes.
from 2022
Yes,
up to
but
this year.
what is the question with regards to that survey?
The question is, may tama po ba na may sablay o may maaring may dapat pang gawin kung po pwede i-revolutionize
Ito naman.
itong mga interventions na ito para sa ganun
Which is the most?
ay hindi po ganito ang naririnig natin na hinaing ng ating mga kababayan. Hindi po maliit na bilang ito. 48 to 57% is not a small number. This constitutes, Mr. President, 14.2 million families. At ito pa po ang masakit, Mr. President. March 2025, 27.2 of our people are complaining of involuntary hunger. Ito po yung pinakamasakit siguro. Yung involuntary hunger, Mr. President, gustong kumain ng isang tao, pero wala siyang makain talaga. Ito ang kaawa-awa po na kalagayan ng isang mamamayan na gusto niyang kumain. Sapagkat talaga pong dapat tayong kumain para mabuhay. Hindi po tayo nabubuhay para kumain. Kailangan po tayong kumain para mabuhay. Kung wala po tayong makakain, mahirap po. 22 to 27%, Mr. President. This constitutes about 7.5 million households. Malaking bilang po ito. Kaya with this assessment of surveys, Mr. President, and considering that we have more than 12 interventions, focus and targeting the impoverished, the downtrodden, the marginalized people, pero patuloy pa silang humihibik, patuloy pa silang napapasaklolo. Stunting is only one of those extensively discussed today. Pero ang pinag-uusapan po doon ay hindi lang pinagugatan noon ay dahil isang bagay lang. Hindi pa napapanganak yung tao, Mr. President, may problema na siguro, kaya ganun ang pangyayari. Kaya kahit na po sabihin nating 1,000 days or even 365 days sa umpisa, may problema pa rin po because the structure ay hindi natin na-address. Yun po yung nakikita ko na ipinahayag ng mga statistics, Mr. President. So the question is the observation valid, Mr. President?
The observation that was shared by His Honor is something that has been brought to the attention of the Secretary, and precisely why in the previous interpellation they have pointed out that upon the instructions of the President, they're commissioning a study to see which of these intervention address poverty the most effectively. So I believe in a nutshell that captures His Honor's concern kasi sabi ng ating kasamahan, sa dami-dami ng program, bakit ganito pa rin ang pakiramdam ng mga Pilipino? So the best thing to do is to conduct this study to find out which programs are effective and which programs are not effective. In the earlier interpellation with Senator Alan, I also pointed out that I personally believe that some of these programs may be very effective, but lack of funding may not give the results, the desired results. So we can also look at increasing the funding for these programs. And I'm specifically referring to the 1,000 days kasi ang intervention doon is just 350 pesos. So kung buntis ka, hindi naman baby yung pinapakain mo, nanay ang kakain nun. So 350 pesos a month is 10 pesos additional a day. And we all know that that is not a huge amount. So for this representation, that could be an effective intervention. And then regarding His Honor's data on involuntary hunger, that is also very valid. But the DSWD also launched a program, yung Walang Gutom, and from there they saw a drop of about 4% of those who consider themselves hungry versus not hungry. 4% ang drop. It's still a long way to go. It's not, our work shouldn't stop there, but it seems that itong Walang Gutom project is somehow effective. Mas malaki din yung amount nito, it's 3,000 pesos. Yeah, and the family can purchase the exact food that they need. So let's say may taniman naman sila, hindi naman nila kailangan yung ganitong klase, then bibili nila yung kailangan nila na pagkain.
Maybe the programs, Mr. President, are valid. Maybe they are good. As a matter of fact, they were well taught by the SWD. The problem, I think, lies in the implementation. Katulad po nung AX noon, napasama ako dyan sapagat ako'y nasa House of Representatives. Kapag ikaw po ay sumama doon sa grupo ng mga House of Representative members, sumama ka halimbawa, nagpunta sila sa Visayas or in Mindanao, yung presence mo lang will entitle you to, meron po sinasabing 777. So meron kang 7 million tupad, meron kang 7 million AIX, meron kang 7 million MAIF. Ako po nagkataong nakasama sa isa lang, ngunit tayo ko na po sumama sa iba. Kaya lang naman ako nakasama doon sa isa dahil meron po akong pupuntahan sa Tagum nung panahon na yon. Kaya sinadya ko na rin sumama sa kanila sapagkat nandun na rin ako. Ngunit hindi ko po alam kung nakakuha rin ako ng 777. So yun po ay isang example, isang halimbawa. Ngunit isang napakasamang halimbawa. Dahil hindi po talaga doon pinamimigay yun eh. Kalipunan ng maraming tao para lang makita nila na kampanya po kasi. Tama po yung mga naunang tanong kanina. Hindi natin malaman kung talagang napupunta sa mga tao yung nilalayon ng bawat programa na nakalinya. Napakarami po nito. At lalong hindi po natin namomonitor, Mr. President, ano ba yung kaibahan kung halimbawa? Sa 12 ito na intervention halimbawa, ilan po kaya ang pangkaraniwan ang natatanggap ng isang targeted person? Sa marginalized po kasi ito eh. At paano nabago ang kanyang buhay? Ito po yung kahit kailan ay hindi ko pa po nakita na halimbawa na-report ng kaukulang mga ahensya, hindi lamang po ang DSWD. Ipaghalimbawa po natin, Mr. President, yung 4Ps. 4Ps, Mr. President, was initiated as a program in 2008. It was institutionalized through the enactment of Republic Act 11310. Ibig sabihin po, Mr. President, from 2008 hanggang ngayon, 2025, 17 taon na po ang nakararaan. So, yun lamang pong katawagan Pantawid program, Pantawid Pamilyang Pilipino Program for Peace. Medyo kinakabahan na po ako ron, Mr. President. Naitawid mo lang eh. Paano pagkatawid niya, Mr. President, nakakita ng multo? Pinakamarami rin, babalik yun eh, sa takot eh. Ghost project ang nakita niya. Paano siya makakapagpatuloy para lumakad? Nang mayroong kumpiyansa sa kanyang kinabukasan. Yun po yung pinoproblema eh, Mr. President. Kaya po kanina ay nagtatanong ang marami, paano kaya natin re-reviewin to? Kaya meron ba tayong mas mabisang kaparaanan na pwede nating subukan? Para sa ganun ay malaman naman natin kasi ipagpatuloy natin ang napakaraming mga intervention sa matagal na panahon, ngunit patuloy pa rin nagsasabi ang mga kababayan natin, nakaranas po ako ng involuntary hunger. Ang tingin ko po sa sarili ko ay mahirap pa rin ako. Hanggang ngayon eh. Mr. President, sangayon po sa World Bank, ang China po, this is a World Bank report. Ang China po, Mr. President, was able to lift or liberate 800 million poor Chinese from 1978 to 2018, or a period of 40 years. Ang ibig sabihin po noon, Mr. President, China was able to liberate an average of 19 million poor Chinese people per year. 19 million impoverished Chinese people were liberated. Ito po yung report ng China. Nung tinignan ko po, there are two pillars of approach na ginamit ng China. Ang isa po ay to open new economic opportunities and raise average incomes. Kapag wala pong economic opportunities talaga, and you are unable to raise the income of an average family, lalo na po yung mga impoverished and marginalized, kahit anong gawin mong intervention, hindi mo talaga sila maliliberate. Ang pangalawa po nila, yung recognition that targeted support was needed to alleviate persistent poverty. Ito po ngayon ang ginagawa ng DSWD. Yung targeted intervention lang. Kasi po yung sinasabi nila, areas disadvantaged by geography and lack of opportunity, and later on, targeting individual households. So bago po nila ginawa yon, talagang China was able to raise the average income of their poor families. Without which, yung intervention hindi nila magagawa. And then in 2021, President Xi Jinping, Mr. President, also declared that China has achieved another miracle of eradicating extreme poverty in their country over an 8-year period. So, ibig sabihin, 2021, sinabi niya, 100 million people have been lifted out of poverty. 8 years lang po ang ginamit niya, Mr. President, or an average of 25 million poor Chinese. Doon po sa report ng World Bank, 19 million poor Chinese. Bakit ko po dinidistingue ito, Mr. President? And I can even emphasize the importance of this. Kasi po, kung 19 million poor Chinese po ang na-liberate, napag-graduate ng China, magagawa rin po natin eh. Kasi tingnan po natin, Mr. President, ang poverty incidence rate po natin in 2024 is 15.5%. That comprises 17.5 million poor families. 17.5. Ginamit po natin na base 112 million Filipinos in 2024. Sabi po ng Population Commission, today, 2025, estimated population of our country is 114 million Filipinos. So applying the poverty incidence rate of 15.5%, that will be 17.17 million Filipinos. Kung gagawin po natin ang ginawa ng China, Mr. President, we can wipe out poverty in this country in 1 year. Why? 19 million poor Chinese po ang nag-graduate nila eh. Eh, ang mahirap lang natin is 17.7 million, assuming that this is correct. Why don't we do a Chinese miracle? Kesa naman sa, ang purpose po, 17 years na po eh. Pumasok po ako sa Congress, House of Representatives in 2004. 4 years later, doon ko po nakita ang purpose, 2008. Hanggang sa mag-graduate po ako, ngayon we're still struggling and grappling about the ways we can help our people, especially the marginalized ones. Tama po ba na gamitin kong halimbawa ang China, Mr. President?
Maganda hong tanong yon kasi nag-compute din po ako. Gusto ko rin naman ho na ma-eradicate yung 17.7 million Filipinos natin living in poverty. Pag ginamit ho natin yung model ng China, talagang kaya ho yun. But our population is not 1 billion. Our population is 112 million. So if you look at that ratio, what China was able to achieve, and I just randomly pulled out a number of 1 billion yung population nila within the earlier time frame that His Honor gave, 1978 to 2018. In the early years, it was 1 billion. Later on, it increased to 1.43 billion. Less than 2% po ang 19 million per year. It's great. It's great. It's nice to have a target, but I don't know if we can actually say that their program was better than ours kasi magaganda din naman ho yung achievement natin. Not in any way to say that this is enough. There is so much more we need to do. Even the Secretary acknowledges that. Pero ito naman po ang tingnan natin, na accomplishment po ng 4Ps. 1.44 million household exited from 2022 to 2025. Ibig sabihin, naka-achieve na sila ng self-sufficiency kasi the intervention of 4Ps was to change behavior, to make the parents raise their child in a healthy environment, going to the health center and going to school. So 1.44 million naman ang napa-exit natin. So I would say that's about 1.27% of our population. 12.21 million ang elementary graduates po natin dito. So malaking percentage din yan. 4.55 million ang high school graduates. 39.88,000 board examination passers and 116 top-notchers. Ito po yung mga pamilya na walang college, walang nakatungtong sa college. So for me to see this, tumataas po yung balahibo ko na kahit papano nakapag-graduate hindi lang ng high school pero pumasok pa sa mga course na may board exam at may nag-top notcher pa. And then 2.44 million have graduated to the Sustainable Livelihood Program na ito ay kadikit ng 4Ps para matuloy-tuloy nila yung good habits na inumpisahan nila at may kabuhayan na sila ngayon. So I would say, Mr. President, there's much more that we can achieve. Sana mas maganda pa yung mga numbers. The good news is I think we have a team here headed by the Secretary that, you know, is not settling for these numbers. They want to achieve more. And that is why they have a study that I had already mentioned a couple of times that will help them determine which are the most effective programs or which programs in combination. The 4Ps, they also have validation of this program, that this program is effective, pero gusto pa nilang malaman na ano pa bang pwedeng improve pa. What programs should be eliminated, what programs can be combined for the most efficient use of funds to address the needs of these poorest of the poor, Mr. President. So, short answer to your question, maganda talaga yung model ng China. I think we can do our part in trying to have that target of alleviating these people out of poverty. Pero tingin ko maganda rin yung mga nakita nating data kasi we can also see what happened to them, what happened to the children who fall under those programs.
Yes, Mr. President, as I have said, there is no way to belittle the efforts of DSWD. I think we can thank them for what they are doing for our people. They've been there for quite some time, and they're everywhere whenever the services are needed. Ang sinasabi ko lamang, Mr. President, is the China model is something that we should also take advantage of. Ma-review man lang natin. Kasi yung una po nilang ginawa ay to raise the average income of their poor people. Ibig sabihin, kapag hindi po natin nagagawa, no matter how much intervention we can do or we will do for them, hindi rin siya magiging sapat or significant para sa ganon ay makabawi sila talaga ng lubos-lubusan. Kaya nga po yung approach ng China from 800 million in 40 years, that's an average of 19 million Chinese liberated from poverty. Sana magawa natin yon kung halimbawa makuha natin yung sinasabi nilang economic opportunity that can eventually raise the incomes of these marginalized Filipinos, talagang yung pantulong na lang na interventions, yung makakabawi silang talaga. But until and unless we're able to raise their plight, their economic plight, to the extent that they are able to get an income na makakasapat po sa kanilang pangangailangan, kahit ano pong intervention ng gawin natin. Ito po yung nakita ko sa Chinese model. Kaya po, pupunta po ako sa aking pangalawang suggestion. During the briefing of the Department of Finance, Mr. President, naimungkahi ko po na pwede siguro nating pag-aralan. Let's do away with all these subsidies. Nung briefing na yun, Mr. President, I was using the example of the 2025 budget where I was able to compute subsidies coming from, let's say, AIX, TUPAD, MAIP, PORPIS, etc. I was able to compute the sum total of 194 billion pesos. Parang kapareho din po ngayon, Mr. President, kung titingnan po ninyo yung 12 interventions hanggang doon sa pang-8, yung walang gutom 2027, 194 billion pesos na po yun eh. At ang total, kagaya nga ng aking nabanggit na 212 billion pesos. In that briefing, Mr. President, hypothetically, sinabi ko, if we can eliminate the subsidies, palitan na lang natin ng isang proposition like all households consuming 200 kilowatt hours per month. Ilibre na natin yon. Kinukwento ko po, Mr. President, yung pong 200 mga families na nagkukonsumo ng 200, average of 200 kilowatts per hour pababa. Nandyan po yung pinakamahirap. Easily, you can establish 4.5 million families there. Kapag ganun po yung approach na ginawa natin, depending on the price of electricity, let's say between, let's say 10 to 12 or even 15 pesos per kilowatt hour, like in most electric cooperatives in our country. Palagay ko, ang magagasta lang ng gobyerno is between 100 to 120 billion pesos. What is the advantage, Mr. President? The advantage is dire-diretso po sa kanila. Walang corruption. Walang namimili lang. Hindi politiko yung pupunta ron. Hindi yung pasikat lang siya. Dito po dire-diretso. let's say 2,500 ang natipid niya sa kanyang kuryente because it is a subsidy, sa kanya po yun. Bahala na po siya ngayon magpundar ng pangangailangan ng kanyang pamilya. Hindi kagaya ngayon po, napakaraming intervention, maaaring po, nagkakadoble-doble, yung iba hindi natin na-monitor, yung iba napupunta kung saan lang. Ito po, dire-diretso sa household. So, less corruption, walang pasikat, baka po masatisfy natin the first component of the Chinese model, yung sinasabi niyang economic intervention that will, to the extent of raising the family income. Ito po kasi 2,500, palagay mo. Ang laking bagay po nun sa individual household. Yung mahihirap po talaga. Yun po sana yung gusto kong i-propose at maaaring hindi natin magawa ngayon, but we should be able to maybe study it further, Mr. President. Kasi po, initially, sabi sa akin ni Secretary Recto, I can recall him. Nung sinabi ko po sa kanya, nakangiti siya, masaya ang kanyang muka. Sabi ko, Mr. Secretary, mukhang hindi ka kukontra, sabi. Sabi niya, hindi ko kukontrahin yan, parang maganda. Gusto mo, dagdagan ko pa eh. So, there are some merits in this kind of proposition. Kasi, dito po sa maraming interventions, napakahirap pong mag-monitor talaga. And I think even the Secretary siguro halos hindi na natutulog para lamang makita niya talaga ng lahat ng ito ay napupunta sa dapat mapuntahan. At makita niya rin na nagkakaroon ng bunga yung kinapuntahan ng mga pera and services and interventions na nababanggit lahat dito. So dire-diretso po sa pamilya. Wala pong corruption yun eh. Zero corruption. Is it worth reviewing or considering, Mr. President?
Definitely, Mr. President, the Secretary said they will study it, and even this representation as Chairman of the Committee on Energy, I have mentioned to His Honor that we are very happy to study that measure. It sounds like a very positive measure that would really benefit the Filipinos. Thank you.
So, salamat po. Ang totoo niyan, meron po kaming panukalang batas tungkol dyan, Mr. President. Sana po pagka ito ay atin ang pinag-uusapan ay maging daan lang para sa ganon ay mapuntahan naman natin yon. Baka sakaling ito po yung hinahanap nating isa sa milagro na ginamit po ng China, Mr. President. Kasi po sa ngayon, napakahirap po talaga. Yun lang pong paghingi ng nagkataon po kasi na ang dami pong binaha. Isa po ako sa talagang gusto rin makatulong sa constituents natin kaya napilitan po akong lumapit sa Department of Social Welfare and Development kasi mabilisan po yun. Napakahirap naman po sapagkat marami ring pumipila. Yung ibang nakuha po namin, ang sabi nila, bakit ka ako parang antagal natin? Kasi po, binebet pa po namin. Iba po kasi nagko-complain, yung mga tuna products po, may parang iba, bulok na po kasi. Sino po ba yung nagbe-bet nun? Pati nga po yun, yung pagre-repack lang, isipin po natin, napakalaking organization ang kakailanganan nyo. Bibili kayo, magpo-procure kayo, i-repack natin. Doon pa lang sa pagre-repack po, ilang milyon po, ilang bilyon po ang ating gagastusin dyan. Samantalang kung diretso na po yung 2,500 sa household, siya na po ang bibili ng pangangailangan niya. Kung ilang pirasong sardinas ang gusto niyang bilhin, nasa kanya na yun. Doon siya bibili ng gamot. Eh yung pong nakuha ko pong, ayaw ko na pong kunin dahil nung makita ko po yung non-food items po, lalo na po yung pasensya na po, yung mga undergarments po, underwear. May nakita po ako, sabi ko, paano ko ibibigay ito? Napakalaki. Sa size po ng Pilipino, palagay ko po, wala pong makapagsusuot nun eh. Siguro po kung yung mga wrestler po pwedeng isuot po nila yung iba po naman napakasikip, yung iba naman po napakadipis. So sino po ba yung ito lamang po ayoko na pong bumati o bumase sa ganitong mga pagtatanong pero doon pa lang po malaking problema na eh. Yung procurement lang po, intervention lang po ito eh. Para bumili ka, i-repack mo at ipamigay mo, ilagay mo po sa mga bodega. Ang dami pong organization, ang daming effort, ang daming man hours, ilang pong tao ang gaganap nito. Kaya po siguro hindi nagiging masyadong effective kahit na napakaganda po ng programa. So salamat po Mr. President. Naihayag ko po yung maaring alternative na pwede nating gawin. Salamat Secretary Rex sa pagtulong mo sa ating mga kababayan kahit na mahirap, talagang ginagampanan mo pa rin ang tungkulin mo hanggang ngayon. Maraming salamat po, Madam Chair and Mr. President.
Thank you,